Something is happening behind closed doors in Los Angeles. Not a rumor whispered by fans. Not speculation from social media. But real conversations. Real pressure. Real urgency. With the NBA trade deadline approaching fast, the Los Angeles Lakers are no longer debating if they need to make a move. They're debating how far they're willing to go to save this season. And today, one name is quietly surfacing in those talks more than ever before. Rui Hachimura. Stay with me until the end, because this situation goes much deeper than it looks, and it could reshape not only the Lakers' rotation, but also Detroit's future direction. The deadline pressure is real. February 5th is not just another date on the calendar. For the Lakers, it represents a line between hope and regret. According to multiple league sources, Los Angeles has officially made Rui Hachimura available for trade ahead of the deadline. This is a significant shift in posture from earlier in the season, when the franchise was hesitant to include him in negotiations. Why the change? Because time is running out. The Lakers know this roster, as currently constructed, is not good enough to make real noise in the playoffs. And standing still is no longer an option. Rui Hachimura's market. Quiet, but not dead. Despite being a productive role player, Rui Hachimura's trade market is described as lukewarm around the league. His contract is nearing expiration. He's coming off a calf injury, and he's no longer a guaranteed starter. That combination has cooled interest, but it hasn't erased it. According to Evan Sidery of Forbes, the Lakers initially resisted using Hachimura as a trade chip. Internally, the team still values his shooting and size, but the reality of the Western Conference has forced a hard pivot. The message in the front office is clear now. Do whatever it takes to improve before the playoffs. More trouble in Lakerland. The situation gets even more complicated. NBA insider Brett Siegel from Clutch Points reported that Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and Maxi Kleber currently hold little to no positive trade value across the league. That's a brutal reality for a franchise that needs upgrades. Fast. But here's where things get interesting. What if the Lakers aren't looking for star power? What if they're looking for energy, defense, and flexibility instead? The Detroit connection. Enter the Detroit Pistons. A rebuilding team with cap flexibility, young talent, and a need for floor spacing without overcommitting long-term assets. According to NBA analyst Jason Timpf, Rui Hachimura fits perfectly into that mold. On a recent episode of the Hoops Tonight podcast, Timpf outlined 3 potential forward targets for Detroit before the trade deadline. Lauri Markkanen, the dream scenario. Michael Porter Jr., a high upside swing. Rui Hachimura, the budget-friendly option. And Detroit is paying very close attention to option number 3. Why Rui is the cheap solution. Utah wants a king's ransom for Lauri Markkanen. Michael Porter Jr. comes with health concerns and a heavy contract. Rui Hachimura, he's affordable, he can shoot, and he doesn't mortgage the future. Jason Timpf put it plainly. If you want to save as much as possible and still get a tall forward who can shoot, Rui Hachimura is that guy. For Detroit, this isn't about chasing wins right now. It's about controlled progress. The proposed trade that turned heads. Here's the idea that has quietly gained traction in league circles. Proposed trade. Pistons receive Rui Hachimura. Lakers receive Caris LeVert plus Javonte Green. At first glance, it may not look blockbuster, but look deeper and the logic starts to click. Why Detroit would say yes. Statistically, Rui Hachimura is one of the most efficient spot-up shooters available. 42% from 3 on catch-and-shoot attempts. 49% from 3 when completely wide open. That's elite efficiency. As Timpf noted, if Rui is open, the shot is going in. On the Pistons, Rui would instantly become one of their best shooters, spacing the floor for their young core and providing size at the forward spot. Yes, he's not a high-level rebounder or defender, but Detroit can live with that. This is about offense, spacing, and value. Why the Lakers would do this? From the Lakers' perspective, this trade checks multiple boxes. Caris LeVert, better defender than Rui, can create his own shot. Proven six-man type, fits playoff rotations better. Javonte Green, high-energy wing, defensive disruptor. Hustle player coaches trust. Brings intensity this roster lacks. This isn't about talent accumulation. It's about playoff functionality. Rotation reality. Rui's role shrinking. Since returning from a right calf injury, Rui Hachimura has been used primarily off the bench. He needed time to regain rhythm, and he has, over his last 5 games, 11.8 points, 3.6 rebounds, 1.0 assists. Solid numbers. But opportunity is the real issue. According to Dave McMenamin of ESPN, head coach J.J. Redick plans to keep Rui in a reserve role even moving forward, especially once Austin Reeves returns. That limits Rui's ceiling in Los Angeles. And the front office knows it. The human side of the story. This isn't just about numbers. Rui Hachimura is respected in that locker room. He's professional. He works. He produces when called upon. But the NBA is ruthless, and the Lakers are in survival mode. Now that we've laid out why this trade is being discussed, it's time to go deeper, because trades aren't won on paper. They're won on the court, in the locker room, and under playoff pressure. This is where the Rui Hachimura conversation stops being theoretical and starts becoming strategic. How Rui Hachimura fits in Detroit's system. Detroit isn't searching for a savior. They're searching for structure. The Pistons' biggest offensive problem this season has been spacing. Young guards attacking the paint with nowhere to go. Defenders collapsing without consequence. Possessions dying before they ever breathe. Rui Hachimura changes that instantly. He doesn't need the ball. He doesn't hijack possessions. He lives off gravity. Placed on the weak side, Rui forces defenders to make an impossible choice. Help inside or give up 3 points. For a developing team, that simplicity is gold. Why Rui's shooting matters more than his defense. Critics point to Rui's defense and rebounding, and they're not wrong. He's not a stopper. He's not a rim protector. He's not a glass cleaner. But Detroit isn't building a defensive juggernaut overnight. They need reliable floor spacing, size at the forward position, a player who doesn't stunt growth. Rui checks all 3 boxes. He becomes a plug-and-play starter or high-minute rotation piece without changing the Pistons' identity. The underappreciated value, contract flexibility. Here's something casual fans miss. Rui Hachimura's expiring contract is not a weakness. It's leverage. Detroit could re-sign him at a reasonable number, flip him again at the next deadline, or let the deal expire without long-term risk. In today's NBA, flexibility is power. That alone makes Rui attractive to a rebuilding franchise, shifting back to Los Angeles. Now let's talk about the Lakers, because this is where the urgency peaks. Los Angeles doesn't need more shooters. They need players who survive playoff basketball. Caris LeVert, a playoff tool, not a luxury. Caris LeVert brings something Rui doesn't. Self-creation. When the offense stalls, when defenses lock in, when stars are trapped, LeVert can manufacture a bucket. He's not a star, but he's dependable chaos. In a playoff series, that matters more than regular season efficiency. Defensive edge. Why LeVert and Green fit better. Defense is where this trade tilts toward the Lakers. Rui struggles navigating screens. He's late on rotations, and he's often targeted in switches. Caris LeVert, while imperfect, is more active defensively, better at reading passing lanes, more adaptable to switching schemes. Javonte Green adds something even rarer, pure energy. Every contender needs one player who crashes the floor, forces turnovers, changes tempo without touching the ball. Green is that guy. Rotation changes you can expect immediately. If this trade happens, the Lakers' rotation tightens instantly. Likely outcomes. LeVert becomes the primary 6-man. Green slides into defensive matchups late in games. Fewer minutes wasted on defensive liabilities. This isn't about adding talent. It's about eliminating weaknesses. Locker room dynamics. The quiet factor. This part never shows up in box scores, but it decides seasons. Rui Hachimura is respected, but he's quiet. He leads by example. He doesn't raise energy levels. LeVert and Green are vocal, emotional, reactive, For a team fighting inconsistency, that emotional spark can be the difference between folding and responding. Playoff reality check. Let's be honest. If the Lakers enter the playoffs with their current roster, defensive matchups will be hunted. Bench scoring will disappear. Adjustments will come too late. This trade doesn't make them favorites, but it makes them functional. And in the West, functionality is survival. Advanced view matchup flexibility with LeVert and Green. The Lakers gain switchability. They protect their stars defensively. They reduce foul trouble risk. That's not flashy. That's championship math. The risk factor and why it's acceptable. Yes, the Lakers lose shooting. Yes, Rui has upside. But upside doesn't win in April. Execution does. And Los Angeles is betting that experience and adaptability matter more than theoretical potential. Why this move signals a bigger plan. This trade wouldn't be the final move. It would be a reset, cap flexibility, rotation clarity, defined roles. That's how contenders prepare for one last push. And now I want to hear your voice. This trade idea could quietly change the Lakers season, or it could become another missed opportunity that haunts this franchise for years. So tell me, would you pull the trigger on this deal if you were running the Lakers? Does Rui Hachimura still have untapped value, or is it time to move on? If this breakdown helped you see the story behind the headlines, hit that like. It helps the channel more than you imagine. Drop your opinion in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want real NBA reporting, deep analysis, and stories you won't hear anywhere else, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the trade deadline is just getting started. This is where the real NBA conversation happens.